Okay, I felt like I needed to make a part two to this because there are consequences. There are serious, dire consequences that I had to go through, and I had to learn um, when you don't adhere and understand that people make time for what they want. Okay. Um, when people uh, choose and start, like, distancing themselves from you, and doing that when they were really, really close, and you let them come back and you keep doing it and you try to get that bond and you're working, the first thing you're going to do is wear yourself out. And that's what happened to me. I wore myself out because I was trying to prove myself to be worthy. Like, hey, I don't know what happened, whatever I did, I'm so sorry. Let me make this right, and to be honest, the perpetrator, I don't want to say perpetrator. I'm going to say the individual, because it really wasn't. Yeah, the individual, they didn't even care about that. They just got what they needed, and they didn't feel as I was that of value. And I took it personal, and I was like, let me make it right. So I was working myself off. Um, so that was the first thing I was doing. Second, I was devaluing myself because they've already said they're done, they're done with me. All this, other crazy stuff, they're done. They're done with me. And I was just like, no, well, maybe. No, well, maybe, So I'm devaluing myself because they're like, oh, well, she's pathetic, and that's how they do. She or he's pathetic, which it's not. It's just you felt like you really had a close bond. The things that you felt was genuine. You wanted, and like most people, they want to, if they've done something, because in human nature, we can offend people just, out of a lot of things, because it's a lot of communication can always be misunderstood um, at different angles. So you want to just say, okay, well, being a functional, healthy adult. What is it that I did wrong? I'm so sorry. Let's try to work this out, And they don't care. They, like, that's how they are. They just try to push you over, and that's just it, unless you start getting more attention from somebody else. um, so that was the second thing. The first thing is that you wear yourself out, and the second thing is that you devalue yourself, because they're like, well, I shouldn't even waste all that time, the time that I was giving this person. I could have been doing way less. The third thing is that your emotions take a toll, because the higher you do, eventually the person will give you some type of attention once you start working harder and harder, unless somebody else is in the picture and they think that person, and it's a new person, so they will give you that attention unless that other person is there. So then you're looking at the other person, then you're going to try to compete. That's the next thing. Like, you're going to be in competing. So you're, once again, overworking yourself. If I can tell you the consequences of that, because I had that myself, and I was like, well, why do you keep going to this person? And even with my first relationship, I was like, why are you going to this first person? Or seeing, talking about they did this. Who cares about what they're doing? We're doing this now. Why do you keep bringing up your ex? Or saying, oh, well, this person is doing it better than this person. Well, then go with her. Go with that person, And sometimes you have to let them know, like, go, bye, go with that, And now, because usually especially if they're comparing you to their ex, if they're comparing you to the ex and the ex is in the picture, then you got some leverage, because it's the reason why that person is gone. Either he thought of you or she thought of you as somebody um, who was of greater standing than them, and then they found out, it was the same thing, um, which is usually a problem with them. So then they'll come back and they'll triangle. They'll do a whole triangle. But if it's someone new, then that's a little bit more. That's a little difficult. And sometimes, I know that sounds hard, but the best thing to do is just leave. Don't say nothing. Don't just say you that relationship or that bond with family or whatever, it's going to be good. Because it's not just, you know, with um, relationships, spousal relations. It's dealing with relationships with family. Like, they're pushing you off to the side and they're looking at everybody else and all that, and that's cool. Don't fight it, because the more you fight it, the longer it's gonna take for you to heal. And if it's something else out there that is open and is willing to you, because God is God, like God is very infinite. God is everywhere, and he hears what you need. But if you're holding on to something that is not serving you, you can't reach out and get what you need. So yeah, that's the consequences. That's the consequences. So yeah, let it go. And don't try to fight it. Don't try to explain why you're going. I was trying to explain and all of that, and I felt really bad for it. But later on, I found out it's not about me. It's not about me, but it is about me. But really, the reason why I left, it wasn't about me. It was them getting their need, and it was a one-sided relationship anyway. And when I got finished, I started seeing things a lot clearer. I started seeing things a lot better. And you don't understand, the consequences of staying in that relationship, because usually they think of you as a high commodity at some point in time. So that's the reason they had you. So if you leave and you get up, like I usually do, and just like bye and don't say nothing, they're gonna want to go. They're gonna be like, well, why is she leaving? She has to be, she has to be messing with somebody else, or she has to be doing. No, 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 no. So now it's got them wondering. And that's what you want them. Well, not really, because I really don't want them wondering. Because like my ex, he was wondering, and then he kind of started stalking me because he knew I was gonna get better. And then I had to just act like I was dead. Like when I say dead, I had to be like possum kind of like I didn't do any activities. I did everything low key. Not even with just with my ex, with people who were around me that was trying to attack me and do crazy stuff. I just act like you're low. Stay low as possible. Stay low, because the consequences are dire. You have to understand, it's not because you were bad or evil or anything, or you weren't the right fit for them. It's because it's stuff with them, and well, actually you weren't the right fit for them, because you are a healthy being. So yeah. So there are dangers to it, by not adhering to it, or listening to it. You devalue yourself, and you'll be in this whole like puddle. Today gave me such a revelation, that why God separated me and kept me away, because I was like, dang, I want to go back home. Like sometimes I just miss the people that I'm around, and everyone has that, which you're normal to. And some of these people are kind of weird, and they're racist, and it's crazy. But it's a lot of opportunities here, and I see myself healing, and also I see myself breaking into my future. So, and I see how God is shaping that and molding that and bringing that to fruition. And that's, I guess, the best thing that could ever happen, because I'm getting fixed in my brokenness. And I think that's what everyone really kind of want. Well, that's what people really want, but they don't understand that they want. Because I didn't really think that I wanted this. Well, I saw it, how God was telling me how I was going to help people and this and that. I didn't know that I had to get broken for it. And I did. So, yeah. That is part 2. Part 2, people make time for what they want. I'm probably going to make a third one, because I think I need to talk about some more topics on it, but we'll see. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Definitely stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem, and thank you so much for tuning in.